Okay, so welcome to my first interview with Ashley Sajitkumar. I hope I pronounced that right.
Yes, you
So
did.
the reason why I picked Ashley for my first interview is simply because not a lot is out there about Ashley. Um, I've known Ashley for a long time, and I think he's a phenomenal athlete. And I just thought maybe I get him on and he could speak a few words about himself. So, Ashley, you could introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley. I come from India. I come a coastal village in India. I moved to Ireland when I was 21. So I'm 34 now. So nearly 13 years in Ireland. I became an
Right,
Irish citizen about 2 years ago.
right, okay.
So yeah. So I yeah, that's my
Introduction.
that's
That's
where
perfect. Yeah,
yeah
that's
that's my
perfect.
short
Yeah,
introduction.
so that
Yes.
was probably one of the first questions I was going to ask you. You're from India, but you're living in Ireland a long time now. Have you got family here in Ireland?
No, I'm married to an Irish woman though.
Okay, okay, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah,
Cool.
yeah, yeah. So
Right.
yes, family,
I,
yes.
you've got kids?
No, not yet.
Okay,
I feel
not,
like a
not
kid
yet.
myself, so I
Not
haven't grown
yet.
yet. I need to grow up first.
Yeah. So you said you were 21 when
Oh,
you.
congratulations on your baby, by the way.
Oh, thanks a million.
Yeah, yeah,
Cheers.
yeah.
So what age are you?
I'm 34 now.
You're 34. Okay.
34, yes, yeah, yeah.
I actually thought you were a lot younger than that.
Yeah, thank you, but yeah,
You're
34.
aging well. You're aging well.
No, thank you, thank you. Yeah.
I'm
So,
35, so
are you okay?
yeah. So I can't say it.
You're doing well as well. You're doing well too. Yeah.
So what basically got you into competing in bodybuilding? Was there something that you know flipped the switch, or was it you were
Uh,
always wanting to be in shape?
No, I was always into athletics. My background is athletics, so I started doing track and field from the age of 9.
Oh wow,
So
okay,
that was the school that I went to. Track and field was their main thing, So I did that for up until the age of 15. So javelin was my main event, and I injured my arm in one of the nationals. So then I stopped doing athletics. I couldn't do athletics anymore. So
oh
then I was lifting weights just before that. I probably picked up a pair of dumbbells when I was 13. I used to do push-ups and pull-ups and body weight exercises even before that. So then when I finished up with the athletics, that kind of transition, I was looking for what am I going to do now. So that kind of naturally transitioned into weight training. And then some of the guys saw me and said, "Look, you should maybe compete." And I said, "Okay, yeah, I would like to give that a go." And
okay.
then
Let me interrupt you there for a sec. So sorry. When did you stop doing the javelin? What age?
at that, I was 15, so I would
Okay.
have been in high school. Yeah,
So it was at 15. Then you were lifting weights at
15.
13. You said.
I started lifting, like I would have done body weight exercises like
Yeah.
pull-ups
Okay.
and push-ups and dips and that kind of stuff.
Okay. So
But
what
then,
age did people say you wanted to compete? Sorry.
so I would have been 16, 15 going into 16.
Okay. So you had potential then.
Yeah, yeah. So I was really athletically built, at that age. I wasn't big, but I was athletic.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started lifting weights, I started to put on muscles gradually. So it took me probably a while to get to where I wanted to. But yeah, that's how it all started.
Right. Very good. And so was your I know your competition history, but did you compete in India before you came to Ireland?
I did, yeah. My first competition was when I was 16, 17. So I started when I was training weightlifting when I was 15, probably and a half, and then 16 was my first competition.
Wow.
So I
Okay.
did the juniors. So I did the junior or sub junior at that time. We have a subdivision of the junior category, and I won that. I won the local competition. I went to the state. I came second.
Mm, very good.
Disappointed, but then
Well, yeah,
as you
but
do when
still,
you're a kid.
that was your first try
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
state.
because
Yeah.
yeah, because I was placing really well in my athletics. I was a champion, and then when I came second, I was disappointed. But then
Yeah.
that the competitive element kind
Mm-hmm.
of kicks in. But then my coach was like, "Look, train again. We'll go back in next year." So I trained. So I was 18 when I did. My coach said, "Look, go into the senior class." I could have been in the junior class, he said, but go into the senior class.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
did the under 70 in the senior class, and I won the under 70, and I won the overall in the local championship.
Yeah.
Uh,
Still, it's
so
good.
yeah, so and then I went to do the state, and again I came second. So I was like, no, I'm done with bodybuilding. So I was disappointed, and that's then I got it. Then I stopped. I stopped there for a while.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if just correct me if I'm wrong. So you came to Ireland then 3 years later?
3 years
Two?
later, yeah. So in that gap, I was well, kind of working as a instructor, if you want to call it, or managing a gym. So I was looking after the, it was a small little gym,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
where I actually started everything. So the
Right.
owner said, "Look, can you look after the gym?" I said, "Yes, great." So that was like my dream at that time.
Yeah.
So I got to train for free, and I got paid for what I love doing,
Mhm.
and that's how I knew that's where knew what I wanted to do in life. But then, uh, you know, my friend, I was talking to one of my friends, who lived in Ireland, who I went to school with at that time, and I
Okay.
kept in touch with them over the years. And he said, "Why don't you come over and give it a try?" And I always wanted to go abroad, because to experience different culture and
Yeah.
to improve my language and all that kind of stuff. So
Of-
anyway, so I tried, and I succeeded, and I got a visa, and I came over. And
Wow. Very good. So
13
did you
years later,
apply? Did you apply for a job when you came to Ireland, or you just came?
no, I just came. I came here as a student. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, it
You
wasn't an easy road by any means
yeah.
at
Well,
that
look.
time.
Yeah. Let's not skip that 13 years. So when
Yeah,
you arrived in Ireland,
yeah.
so if you competed in your first show in Ireland in 2013, so you were
2011. That was my first show.
2011. Okay.
2011. Yeah, yeah.
Where was
2011.
that?
Spring Classic in Limerick.
That was 2011.
2011. Yeah,
Well,
long
that's
time.
uh,
Long time. I know.
we're both showing our age now. I thought it was
Yeah.
2013. Why did
No,
I think that?
2013.
Oh, so you okay? So you won that overall before I won my class the following year, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
you well for anyone that's watching this this is the show you beat Cottle Tiernan, yeah?
Yes, that's right.
That's this is where you made your name.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
yeah, so you competed at under 70
yeah.
and you beat a guy that was over 100 kg in the overall, and you deserve to win that, by the way,
Thank you, thank you,
because
thank you.
I was a spectator in that crowd and just phenomenal. But were you when you made weight for that? Were you under 70? Because I know recently, I don't want to skip over at the competitions, but recently you weighed 67, was it, or 65?
No, 60.5. 60.
Six
Yeah, there's a zero
zero.
in between. Yeah, 60.5. Yeah, I'll,
Wow.
I'll get to that. I'll get to that story in a
Right.
minute. Yeah,
60. Right.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, we'll get to that in a bit. Yeah. So what's your height?
I'm five. Okay, 5 foot probably three.
Yeah, but that's fine. 5'3".
Yeah,
Okay.
5'3", 5'4", maybe. Yeah,
Yeah,
if
but
I sit straight, I 5'4".
the way you're put together though. Now I'm gonna share up a few pictures in a moment, but the way you're put together, your structure is just perfect. Like
Thank you, thank you.
even like if someone was to say you're 5'3" and 60 kg, they're not gonna think you're a bodybuilder. They're
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
But
No,
when I show the pictures here, people are gonna be they're gonna be shocked. But just moving on then from where did we stop?
yeah, the Limerick 2011.
Yeah.
Wait,
So after that, you basically just went on to the European circuit. So
yeah, yeah.
you went on to do the Arnold, or was it Moldova
Arnold,
in?
no, that was Arnold. Yes, 2012 Arnold Amateur in Madrid.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, that was a bitter pill to swallow for me, because
Well, look, it was your first. It was your first try at you know. Well, you could argue. I don't know. Is the Arnold at the time, was it a world show? Because
It was, yeah,
it
yeah.
was
It wasn't a
world. Yeah,
regional, yeah. So everybody was
yeah,
allowed to compete. Now it's kind of a regional thing where you
yeah.
have
Because that yeah that
every continent
I
pretty
think
much.
I think then it was even tougher. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you did the under 70s.
yeah.
You came fourth. Am I right?
No, in that show I came ninth. It's funny because
Okay.
I went in and I weighed in at 63 and a half kilograms, so under 70 kg. I never weighed like when I'm going under 70 kilograms, I always weigh way below the weight. Even when I went to Limerick in 2011, I was weighed only 65 and a half.
Wow.
So that's the heaviest I've been on a stage in Limerick in 2011. I've never been at that weight ever again on a stage. Coming to Madrid, I weighed in at 63, and probably after drying out and everything, I could have been 62 or something.
Yeah.
So I remember
That's
going walking. Yeah, I remember going into the backstage, and I saw. So the ladies were first, the physique ladies were first, and then we were going to go in, and I saw the ladies, and I was, Jesus, she is more ripped than I am. So I have no chance. I have no chance here. So
yeah. It's a
yeah,
different ball game. Now look,
it
I
was.
you're very humble, but like you don't realize how good you are, and you do bring good conditioning, because you wouldn't be winning these shows if that wasn't the
Thank
case.
you. Yeah, yeah. So
You know?
that is. I have to give the credit to my first coach for that, because he taught me suffering. So
Yeah.
he taught me to diet, like on egg whites and salads, and suck it up and just do it. So that
Hmm.
was ingrained in me from a very young age.
Well, it
So
shows. It still shows.
yeah,
It's to this day, it still shows. Now,
thank you.
you obviously you're doing your own coaching at the moment.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but you still obviously speak to your coach from the start.
No, no,
No,
no, no, no. That
that
was just
that's okay.
no. We have like we occasionally give a call
Yeah.
every once in a year
y-
or something like that. But
Okay.
no,
Okay.
no, I don't work with anyone.
Okay. So let's move on from. Okay. So you came ninth. So then, what was the next show after that?
The next show was Moldova 2013.
So that was the Europeans.
That was the Europeans, yeah. So again,
Okay.
under 70 kilograms. Um, yeah, I came fifth, I believe. Yeah, it was
Okay.
fifth. Yeah, so yeah.
That
So
was
there
good.
was a
Was that
yeah,
a
that
big
was yeah.
class? That
That
usually is a big
that
class.
yeah, it was a big class. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was it was big enough class. Yeah, so I was pretty happy to be in the top six, coming from ninth in the previous show, and
Definitely. Yeah, you're improving.
yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. So and then the same year I did the Worlds. That was in Morocco, in Marrakesh.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so but I did the under 65 kilograms, which suited me perfect.
Hmm.
So I came fourth in that. So that was
Wow.
yeah,
Okay. Is
yeah.
it the Europeans don't have an under 65, do they?
No, they don't. They
Yeah.
don't.
So only the
They
worlds
only
do
have
that.
70.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
this cap.
technically that's bantamweight is
That is
65.
bantamweight. Yeah,
Yeah.
65 is
Okay.
bantamweight, and lightweight after that, I think.
Yeah. So okay. So you did Moldova. Then is that where the big gap was?
No, it was right after. So the Moldova was in May of 2013, and the World Championship was in November 2013. So yeah, that
Okay.
was the Worlds was after the Europeans. So that
Yeah.
was my last show then.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you did that the Morocco, sorry, the Morocco show,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you arrived next was was last year.
Yes, last year. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's a big gap. I can go into detail of the gap if you want.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me, I
Okay.
want to know, because you went off the face of the earth, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
where?
So
I thought you left the country, or I was like, where's this Ashley guy?
yeah,
And
so
because I could you were trending, and you were doing so well in the European circuit, and then okay, you go on, you explain.
I don't know. Yeah, so after that show in 2013, um, I said, look, I came close to a medal, so I
Yeah,
think I can. I will do one more. I just want to do one more show. Get a medal around my neck, and I'll call it the day. And so I trained for that. Then for the next year, so I kept training, and then that's when the classic physique came out.
Yeah, that
That's the
was
first time.
yeah
2014, 20. That's the time when the classic
in
physique started
America. In America,
in
yeah,
America. In America, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
No, no, actually, they brought that in the European Games, because I remember Mick contacting me and saying they're thinking of doing adding that to the European Games in Baku in Azerbaijan.
Oh,
So
right,
I was like,
okay.
well, okay, yeah. I think it could have been a year later. So so I said, okay, I'll prepare for that. And so, as you know, the European Amateur Classic has a different criteria to the Pro League. So in the amateur, you're allowed, if you're 160 in height, you can be 60 kilograms.
Hmm.
So it's height minus the weight. I
Yeah,
think that's, yeah, or the other way around.
it's your height
So
minus. Yeah, it's your height
yeah,
minus. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So in my mind, I was 164 in height. So I was like, okay, I can be 64 kilograms. This is great. And then I found out I wasn't 64 or 164. I was 163. I was like, okay, so I can be 63 kilograms.
But that
I
one
can
inch.
start yeah, one inch or centimeter or whatever. So I said, okay, I can suck that up and probably make the weight class. 63 is not not a million miles away from 64. So I said, okay, I'll do that. But then I work as a PT. I was working as a PT in one of the clubs. I don't want to name them,
Yeah, okay.
but I worked there for 9 years. I just finished with them last week.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, so it was a it's a tough place because
I know the
you're
place.
self-employed.
I
You
know
know
the
the
place.
place.
I know
You
the
know the
place.
place.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you have to kind of build your own clients. You have to go looking for clients. You have to,
Hmm.
and
And you're renting the
it's
floor. Yeah,
rent. Yeah, so
I know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it wasn't easy. So I had to put all my focus on building my clients, because bodybuilding doesn't pay bills. If anything, you lose money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, this is the time I have to really focus on building my business, and my work just started picking up, and I was so busy and I couldn't. So yeah, as you know, bodybuilding is a full-time job. You don't have time for
100%. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But if you want to put that focus, if you want to come anywhere, you have to put 100%. You can't half hours the thing. So I was
Hmm.
like, okay,
Yeah.
so I have to prioritize what's important here. So I focused on my work.
That was a smart
Uh,
move. Yeah.
yeah, so that helped me. And then then the years just went by, and the love for I love bodybuilding. I but the what do you call it, the hunger to compete
It's
kind of
gone.
started
Your
fading.
motivation. Your
Yeah, yeah,
motivation
yeah,
went.
yeah.
Yeah.
Motivation, you can't call it motivation, because I train all the time. I train 6 days a week, if not
Okay.
seven. So the training was never an issue. Dieting was not an issue, but I can stay in relatively okay shape all year round. So it is that extra bit that dark place that you need to go to. That's
Hmm.
what I was like. I don't think I have the headspace to go into that while maintaining my clients. Because they pay a lot of money to come and see me. I can't
I.
walk around like a
Yeah.
zombie.
Yeah. I can relate to that. Yeah. I know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Especially
So
the last 3 to 4 weeks.
exactly,
You don't
and
want to be snapping and feeling like you're tired and you're slumping over machines and you're trying to
yeah.
focus on their workout. And yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, so I was like, okay, I don't have the time for that. And then the years just went by, and I was going to a really tough period in my life, really, really tough. I don't want to get
Yeah,
into
you don't
details.
have to. Yeah, it's yeah, I can understand. Yeah.
So I was like, what could be tougher than this? And I was like, bodybuilding.
Mm.
So that's when I said, okay, I'm going to do it. So I started picking up. I started training. I planned out everything what I was going to do, and then I went after it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's so I was looking for a show. I contacted Mick and I said, Mick, it's been a long time, but will you let me compete one more time? I won't let you down. And Mick said, keep training and let's see what I can do. And I knew it was, it's not the right thing to do, but
Hmm.
there's nobody. I don't think anyone in Ireland competes in the under 65. So it's a class that's vacant. So I was like, will you let me compete in that? And he did a meeting with the board, and he said, no, you haven't competed in a long time. So I said, yeah, absolutely, that's true. But I was just dancing it.
This was you wanted to compete straight into Europe.
No, I wanted to do the Worlds one more time, and
Ah, okay,
and
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So he was like, no. So I was like, okay, I will requalify if I have to. And then I was training in a gym out in South Dublin, and I met this Vinny. I don't know if you know Vin. Um, Vinny
Vinny
Vincent.
Timmins,
Oh, jeez, he'll
is it?
kill me if I forget his surname next time he sees me.
I think I know the guy you're on about.
He's Mr. Yeah, Mr. Universe. I think
That's
he is.
Timmins. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
That's
yeah,
Vinny
yeah,
Vinny Timmins. Yeah.
yeah. So Vinny said, "Oh, I'm gonna do a show in the UK," and it's the Two Bros Pros show in the UK. I said, "Okay, I'll see if I can jump into that and do it, because you don't have to." You don't need a permission or anything. You can just go and pay the money and just compete.
Mhm.
So I was getting ready for that show. They had a bantamweight class, so I said, okay, I'll do that. And so I got ready for that show, and a month before the show, I felt sick, as in I caught a virus, or a bacteria, a viral fever, kind of.
Like a flu.
So it was like a flu, yeah, like a flu.
Mhm. Okay.
So like a chest infection, and it was
Oh,
bad, man.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jesus Christ. So I was taking paracetamol and Nurofen Plus every couple of hours just to get up from the bed and go and train. And then I have to go and see my clients. So I would wake
Wow.
up at
Okay.
like 4 o'clock in the morning. I would go and prep my food, go and do my training first thing in the morning, and then come back. And I had to go to bed because like I had no energy. I was done after training. My training partner at that time was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm not okay." So when you take all those painkillers and
Drowsy.
paracetamol, it makes you drowsy, makes you tired, and then also you start holding on to a lot of water.
Mhm.
So I was going to the bantamweight, but my weight wasn't going down. I was staying at around 67 and a half, 68 kilograms. It wasn't coming down at all.
Right. Okay.
And then I felt better. Like
Mm.
probably a couple of weeks before the show, I felt better, or maybe about 3 weeks.
Okay.
And the next day I woke up at 64 and a half. So I dropped over like 3 kilos in a day.
Wow.
And that was my real weight. So I was probably holding onto a ton of water from
But
all
like,
the
yeah.
painkillers. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I was like, oh God, okay. So I have a chance here. So then I had to change my diet because I still had 3 weeks to go. That means I was probably underfeeding all this time to make my weight. So I had to increase my calories a little bit to go up in weight.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you increased your food going into the
Yeah,
show,
yeah,
and let me guess, your food, your weight kept dropping.
yeah. So my weight, no, I stayed in around 64 and a half, 64,
Okay.
that
So you
weight.
managed to keep
And
it
then
steady. Okay.
I managed to keep it. Yeah, I managed to keep it. Yeah, so I was able to increase the food a little bit on, a couple of days here, a couple of days there. So yeah, it wasn't too bad then.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah. So I went in, I weighed in over there for at 62 and a half. I have a picture of that here on my phone. So I weighed in at 62 and a half again. I
Oh,
was
I
like,
remember you. You
Jesus
shot.
Christ,
I
I'm
remember
good.
you sending me that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So so I did the class, and I won the class.
Mhm.
Then I went out with my friends that evening after the show. We as you do after bodybuilding show, you go and have your ice cream and your whatever. So I kind of stayed reasonably within the range. So I had a little bit of salmon and a bit of rice and salad and that kind of stuff, and I had a bit of dessert as well. And then because you're so dehydrated, as you start holding on to every ounce of water you drink.
Mhm.
So I drank like a camel, and the next day my weight went from 62 and a half to 67 and a half. So I kind of
Uh,
ballooned, or
yeah, which is normal.
which is,
But
yeah, but it is normal. But uh, so I remember going back to the gym to train, and I was no, yeah. So I came back, and after a show, you're kind of down because you had that goal that you were striving for such a long time,
yeah,
and now
yeah,
it's all over. There's nothing to look forward to.
yeah. But
So I came back.
just to jump in there for a sec, you won your class and you got into the overall. Now you had a shot at actually getting your pro card.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, obviously you didn't come out on top in the overall. But the fact that you got into the overall, that's impressive. And a lot of people don't know that. Now they do. But
Okay. Thank you.
yeah. But okay, carry on. So
Yeah, so
you,
now, yeah, overall was a totally different. I think I sent you a picture. It
yeah,
was
yeah,
I felt really out of place. I was just like even my body language showed I was like this and everything, and
yeah.
I
I
couldn't
don't. Yeah,
wait to get off the stage. Like,
you didn't look out of place though. You're just
thank you.
you're always going to think, that just because you didn't win, you're going to feel more disappointed. But I didn't think you looked
Yeah,
out of place. It's just the guys you're up against were monsters.
yeah, yeah. They were like I said before, they looked like they were built in a factory and not. Yeah, they didn't look. They looked superhuman, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So anyway, so so I came back to my house and I was sitting here, and then on one side of the room I saw the badge that Mick Billman sent me when I said I would like to compete. He said you have to requalify. So I wasn't going to do the October Nationals at
Oh,
all.
okay.
Yeah,
Right.
no. So I saw this badge sitting on the in the corner of my room, and I was like, that's interesting. So
Mm.
but I left it at that. I wasn't going to do it. Still, I went to the gym to train with my training partner Killian, and during the session, I was like, "Do you think I should do that?" And I was like, maybe. I still have about so because now it's a different class, so I have to be 63 and a half kilograms again
Mhm.
in what 3 days time, because the show is on Saturday. I came back to Dublin on Monday, so this is Tuesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I have 4 days to drop all that weight.
And you were 67 at this point.
I was 67 and a half at this point. Yeah,
Okay.
on Tuesday. Yeah. So so I said, okay, let's give it a try. So I went back to Aldi, where I do all my well, basically it's cod and vegetables. That's it. So Aldi is probably the best place. So I get frozen cod, vegetables. Off you go. So I came back with a ton of asparagus and cod, and that was my diet for the next 3 days.
Good
So I
old fish and
managed to
greens. Yeah.
absolutely can't beat that. So
No.
I on Friday, I think Friday morning I was down to 65. So the day before the show I was 65. Yeah, and
You
then
you just keep talking there. I'm just going to pop up some pictures there now.
yeah, 65, and then Friday evening I kept dropping weight. So I came down to probably 64, and then so Saturday morning I was driving down to Limerick, and I was before I went down I woke up really early, so I would have probably been about 4 o'clock in the morning,
Mhm.
and I weighed in at 63 and a half kilograms. So I was like, that's perfect, because now I only need to lose half a kilogram, which I'm going to lose by between now and Limerick. So I arrived in Limerick. So before I left Dublin, I was 63 and a half. I arrived in Limerick, and I had signed. I said I'm doing the classic physique, and the guy said, okay, how are you going to do classic physique? And I said, well, I think I'm 63 kilograms. So he said, okay, so let's check your height first. So I
Mm.
got onto the height scale. I'm convinced that their scale is wrong, because
Go
because
on.
it said 160.5. So
I think that too.
I think their scale is wrong, because I'm not a midget. No way.
Yeah.
I know I'm short, but I'm not. No, 160.5. So
So so that scale said 60.5.
no, sorry, I was 161. I was 161 in height. That's what the scale said.
Oh,
So
okay.
that means I haven't stepped on the weighing scale yet.
Oh,
I had to
sorry. I'm
measure
getting
my height
mixed up.
because it's a height.
I thought you meant the scales. Okay.
No, no,
Cuz that
no. Yeah, so yeah, so the height 161 and a
okay.
half was my height. So technically I can only be 61.5 kilograms.
Mm.
And I left Dublin at 63 and a half, and I was like, okay, I have to jump in back again at my under 70 kilograms.
Mm.
I was like, fuck, okay. So
Uh-huh.
the guy said, you're not going to make the weight class. I remember a couple of guys standing around. I think John Carroll was there as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember John saying, you never know, you might make it, you know. And so I still had my tracksuit and everything. So I took my shoes off. I took my jacket off, had my trousers and everything. I stepped on the scale. I was 60.5 kilograms. So I made,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, so I was under, I weighed in under uh, that.
Well,
I still had a
that's the
kilo.
reason why I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that you're so dehydrated on the day. I always feel the scales, I don't know, in some cases are they way too light. I don't know. Did you think
Yeah,
you were going
yeah.
did you think you were going to be 60.5?
No, no way. No, because there's no way I was going to lose 3.5 kilos between Dublin and Limerick on a drive.
Yeah.
No, I did
Mhm.
not think so. No,
Yeah.
like yeah, I was actually um, yeah, I didn't think that I was going to go. I made my mind to go into the under 70 when they said when I saw that I was 161
Okay,
on the
so
scale.
just to stop you for a second. So you went to the nationals wanting to compete in classic.
Yes,
Okay, okay. So you
yeah, yeah,
thought you if you're going to be too heavy, you would have to go into under 70s,
yes, yes.
weighing in at 63.
Yeah, as you can see from the pictures, I
Yeah.
didn't even have the right trunks on. I had
Yeah.
the
Well, look,
classic physique.
yeah, you didn't have the right trunks. No, I got,
You were
I,
like, pull that thing up.
I was like pulling them up. Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah. Look, I'll bring that pictures up in a sec. But yeah, even if
yeah,
you did the under 70s, you would have won that class simply because you won the classic and you got into the overall.
yeah. Thank you.
And I would love to see the judges' scores because I'd say they were really, really close. Now, um, so you're a classic. You won classic. You got the overall. It was between you and Thomas Savenka. So
Yeah.
just to show this one here, just to show you, Thomas is a monster.
Well, yeah,
It's
Jesus, I look like a child beside him.
well, look, as I said, you're well put together. Like Thomas is over 100 kg, and like you stood your ground there next to him. Now look, Thomas has a lot of muscle,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I think from the back, you could argue, yeah, Tom, he always has incredible glutes, hamstring
yeah,
tie-in,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but you didn't look out of place, and it was between you two. Now you
yeah,
gotta like there's other guys there obviously that are phenomenal bodybuilders standing in the backstage. So you beat all of them to get into the overall. So if you were 63 kg and you went into the under 90s, you would have won. You get what I'm saying?
yeah, 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 yeah.
I
I
know,
get what
but
you're saying.
it's just crazy to think that you weighed in at 60.5
Yeah,
and you're giving
yeah.
away 40 kg here.
I know, I know. It's yeah,
40 kilos. There's another picture with the two of you side by side. Um,
there's an
ab,
abs and thighs
ab
show, I think.
is down the bottom, is it? Here it is.
Yeah,
Like, obviously, look, Tom has incredible,
the quads. It's like it's
incredible.
gonna fall off
Yeah,
his legs. Yeah, yeah,
yes, but look,
yeah,
it's you always bring it. So that brings me to the question. So you the pattern which I see is um you never stray away from that weight. You're always
no,
60, 65, 67, 70 kg. Now, like in your off season, that's if you have one. I don't even know if you have one, but it doesn't seem to me as though you do.
no.
Which makes me come to the conclusion that you are actually natural.
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
yeah. So
another
in fact,
like
I've
that's
in
amazing.
thank you. In fact, I regressed from 2011 to now because when I won the show in 2011 Limerick, I weighed in at 65.5 kilograms. So
Mm.
whereas now I weighed in at 60 and a half. So I've lost a lot of muscle in
I
that
know,
period of
yeah,
time.
yeah. But
So
do you think that could be just down to dieting the same way you did before?
I,
Maybe
I
you
don't know, but I did looked a little bit downsized compared to the 2011 because I know I saw the pictures
No,
Pictures doesn't give you right, but the weight
I know what you
alone.
mean. I know what you mean. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, in certain shots, yeah, but your conditioning alone is crazy.
yeah.
Um,
Conditioning was probably a little bit better than in 2011. Yes.
and pushing calories or extra food or that's something that you just don't want to do. You're happy to stay the way you are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's one thing that I take pride in. That staying in shape, pretty much.
Hmm.
Because if I'm telling someone to how to build six pack, and if you, I was listening to Tommy, he was so funny. He said, if you have belly hanging all the way at top, this, don't do that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
that's my attitude. So I like to stay in shape. That only then I can preach to others. How to get in shape. I think.
Okay.
Um, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's me. Again, but
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
everybody's different. Everybody's different. Because I never took. I didn't want to take my physique to the next level. I don't have that in me. I'm not that brave, if you know what I mean. So I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is where I want to stay, and
No, I think everyone
so
can. Yeah, I think everyone can respect that. But the fact that you're natural, you weigh that weight, and you were standing neck to neck with over 100 kg bodybuilders is brilliant. You know,
I'm really happy about that.
but
Yeah,
it just goes to show, even just the younger guys coming up, you don't have to push anything. Like,
consistency,
yeah, just keeping
consistency,
consistent.
absolutely. Yeah.
And
So
yeah, like I hope a lot of people watch this and they get to obviously follow you, get to know you a little bit more, and just basically like realize that you can do these things without having to, go into the whole chemical enhancement route. You know.
no, no. I think it comes down to your discipline of training, discipline of nutrition, and staying consistent with those two. And
Hmm.
you have to keep going. Like if you that's I think that's the foundation, and if you have that right, you will probably do well. But
Hmm.
if you don't have that, then you probably don't have a choice then.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I mean?
would you ever consider competing in the MBFI? You know, the National Federation.
I was actually going to do that this year. Funny enough,
Yeah.
I was. It was between what is the thing called, the muscle contest,
Yes. Which you were
and
you were you were going to do
I
muscle
was
contest.
I
Yeah.
was, and and I did something really silly, and I injured
I
my
know. Yeah.
knee, and so
But like you have a
I
good
was.
shot of getting a pro card there, but you also have a good shot of getting. Yeah. Look, I don't want to sound like the pro card is the thing you want to be getting,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like if natural is going to be your playing field, if
yeah,
you wanted to go to the MBFI and then into worlds like my client Leanne did, and she
yeah, yeah. Oh,
now
she looked phenomenal.
yeah,
Jesus,
now
she looked
she's a
on.
pro.
Yeah.
Like you could
Oh,
go down that route. Now I don't know, like it'd be good for clientele,
yeah, yeah,
but if I was to give you advice,
yeah,
you can beat guys in the muscle contest. You know what I'm saying? And it's a pity that you have to pick one or the other. Like you can do
yeah,
both shows, but like
yeah. I know what you mean.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I honestly think you could achieve your pro card in the classic physique because it goes by heights. So you'd be obviously.
It is, yeah, and it's different in the pro league. You can
Hmm.
be. I think you can be up to 70 kilograms. So,
Yeah,
not that I will have any problem making the weight.
yeah.
But it gives you a little bit more. Yeah,
But
about 3-4 kilograms extra
yeah,
to
that's
thing.
not that's not taking anything away from the RIBBF either because you're like myself. Um, I have a lot of respect for Mick and
Oh, that's
everyone
my
there.
roots. Yeah,
It,
yeah,
it's yeah, it's my roots as well. Yeah, so it just so happens that there was a split there, and I had a choice to make, and
oh yeah,
I just felt that I needed to go that route. You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
so
Oh, I never got to congratulate you on your IFBB Pro card, man.
ah,
There's only what,
that's
three in at the moment.
that's history. No, there's I think there's four of us now. There's me.
Is it? Well,
There's Shane Cullen. There's
yeah,
IB Sani,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and there is Darren Farrell.
All right. Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wait there.
yeah.
There's Josh Coyle as well. He won his immense physique at muscle contest.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
he stepped up in the classic physique. But look, I don't want to tell you what to do. I'm just saying what I think you are capable of. You
Thank
know.
you, thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Right. So we'll move on to your coaching. So you're doing coaching, online coaching now.
At the
Um,
moment, yes.
yeah. And are you going to be situated in another gym when they open back up, or you still
No, I'm going to be
grounds?
online, but I am going to open up my own personal training facility in the next few weeks' time.
Oh, brilliant. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
so that's what I'm working on that at the moment.
Very
So
good. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So right now it's all online.
So if anyone wants to contact you for coaching, do they email you or they contact your
Yeah,
Instagram?
they can contact me on ashley.sajitkumar@gmail.com, or Instagram would probably be the best.
Cool. Okay.
You can send me a direct message, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think people would have saw the share screen there. They would have seen your
Oh yeah, yeah,
your
yeah.
profile there, so they can pop into that. So, any future plans on what you're going to do? Are you going to take a break and concentrate on your work again
Yes,
before?
yeah, because yeah, as you know, when you go out on your own,
Hmm.
starting everything from the scratch, it's probably going to be a challenge. But I love challenge. That's what I'm going to put my focus on for right now.
Hmm.
And once I have that running smoothly, I will, I will, yeah, I'm not
So,
going anywhere.
2022.
2022 or 2021. So
Oh, really?
yeah, you never know. You never know. You never
Okay,
know.
okay,
So if
okay.
everything goes right, or
Yeah, okay.
2022. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we basically got through everything there so far, and I appreciate you coming on, speaking to me.
Thank you, and thanks for having me on the show. Again, I'm privileged that I am your first guest on the show.
Yes, of
Thank
course.
you,
Yeah,
thank
no,
you.
no
Yeah,
problem at all, Ashley. And yeah, so just to everyone else watching as well. So if you want to subscribe to my channel, just click on the icon, and I will see you all on the next episode.